So here we are with the Eurofighter, guys. The Eurofighter was added in today's update, and we're gonna check it out. What are the differences between the dev server Eurofighter, the last dev server, the last iteration of the dev server, and the version that we have here? There are two differences that they added there, and then we're gonna play a little bit in some battles to talk a little bit about how it is, right? The thing is, we have two changes, like I said. The first one is that they actually decreased or nerfed the maximum possible Gs that you can pull without breaking your wings. The funny part is that they don't break it because apparently you can use the canards to turn it more, and it doesn't change much from everything else that it was before. So it's supposed to have a 13.8 max G, but if we do turn it here, you can see 15 Gs there. And we are using real-time information over here, the button real-time information. So you can pull more than 15 Gs of a turn with this thing, which is insane. It's insane. 15.3. I mean, look at this. It's just crazy. One thing that they actually changed that will properly influence the aircraft is that in certain speeds and certain situations, basically the elevator, the way that everything works for you to pull, will be a little bit more restricted, meaning that you will be able to turn less than what you would probably in the dev server. But the thing is, I mean, it's still 15 Gs for a very long time. The funny part is that this aircraft doesn't compress. That's basically what happens, right? Because of the canards, you can just do almost 16 Gs. It doesn't matter the speed. I'm at 1,200 kilometers per hour, and look at this. I'm still able to pull a pretty amazing AOA for these speeds and a pretty amazing G limit. So it's kind of crazy. Of course, it's just, I mean, it's nuts. This aircraft, it's just, yeah. It loses a lot of energy when you turn because of the slats, but at the end of the day, it has so much power that it is pretty alright. Like I said, I mean, look at this. It's just, I mean, it just pulls, right? So even if you lose the energy, you can regain it very quickly. So you can kind of control it like this, right? Like maintaining the turn to the side that you want and just clicking W sometimes. And you still can maintain an 11, 12 G turn if the pilot can hold it, right? So it's pretty incredible. The aircraft can turn very, very well. And everything else is pretty much the same on the Eurofighter, right? So you can still climb like almost nothing else in the game. It is still going to be worse than some of the other aircraft in the game. And we're going to test this with the Rafale and some others because there were some changes to some of these aircraft from the dev. The Rafale specifically, it's kind of crazy how good the performance of that thing is. But at the end of the day, like I said, it is still one of the best, if not the best aircraft in the game, the Eurofighter. So you can expect that when you are flying, right? So let's get to some matches and talk it over on how you probably should start using this thing, because it can do actually everything. It's kind of even hard to talk about this aircraft because it can do basically anything in a very, very good manner. So yeah, let's get to some battles. So we are here flying, and you can already see how amazing this cockpit is. It's just amazing. The cockpit is amazing on this aircraft. It's just a very, very beautiful aircraft. It just can do everything. It can do everything, right? We're using the 6 AIM-120s and 2 AIM-9s, but honestly, I think it's kind of important to use a lot of AIM-120s, but you can still do the 10 missile pylon, which are loadouts that will carry 6 AIM-9s and 4 AIM-120s, and it's still pretty amazing. I had an interesting problem with this aircraft. This aircraft, guys, it can outrange or like outclimb everything, right? It really can outclimb everything. Not outclimb, I mean, aircraft can fly together, but the thing is, it can climb so well that you're normally, if you point the nose up, it will really, really climb. And you can get to 10 to 13,000 meters so quickly that BVR is very good with this aircraft. The only problem with it is that people are way too defensive these days with the AIM-120. So, which, I mean, it's working, right? But nobody can do BVR because of that, basically. Because everybody's so defensive on flying that you barely can get a kill. It doesn't matter the aircraft that you are flying. That's not a problem with the Eurofighter, right? A problem with the Eurofighter itself would be that the radar is kind of slow when you have the more open kind of scan zones for the radar, but still it's pretty alright, and you can do very well with the aircraft. It is definitely a 4.5 generation. You gotta be really careful for not breaking the aircraft itself. It's just really easy to break it because it's so fast. You know, it has so much energy, the engines produce so much power, it doesn't have a lot of weight, it doesn't have a lot of drag, and it's just an amazing platform. It's I mean, I have to test the Rafale, but at the end of the day, this is one of the best aircraft we have to play in the game, and it comes for 3 nations, which is pretty amazing, and 3 nations that normally don't get that much love compared to the US and the Russians, for example, right? So it is pretty good. Honestly, the problem with you not being able to properly, you know, use BVR due to the people just being very defensive, like I said, it's not a problem with the Eurofighter, but it will make your Eurofighter lose one of the main advantages that it has, which is being able to climb and be fast so early in the match. Okay, so like I showed to you guys, M120s are pretty good missiles. 3 kills there for the M120. I launched another missile there for the other guy, and there was some other targets over here that I wasn't paying attention. There was an F-16C coming that I was going to get into a dogfight, but then another Mirage came and didn't see it, but it was on the radar there on the right side. And yeah, I just got a missile from it, and I properly didn't see it. He was coming from their spawn, and I don't know why, you know, it was really late in the match actually for this map specifically, so it's something that, yeah. But we get to another match. This one was kind of a little bit more difficult, and you will see 2 things happening when you start to fly today, okay, if you get the aircraft today, because today is probably the worst day for you to play in RRB normally. Because everybody is flying like a crazy man trying to grind, right? So people are really aggressive, and it kind of becomes with any aircraft 2 things. You don't get kills because you are flying too safely, and the match is just too over very quickly because everybody's being too aggressive, so your team is just going to stomp everything, or the other way around, the other team will stomp yours, and if you fly too safely, you're gonna get eventually killed very easily because there will be 50 aircraft onto you, right? So just be careful on flying today, because this is a problem that happens every single time we are in a patch day, right? But again, I'm trying to do BVR over here, and as you see, I mean, Mach 1.5, 7, 8 kilometers altitude, you can climb very easily to 13,000 meters and speed up to more than Mach 1.3 very easily, making these M120s very deadly in the BVR. But again, people are so defensive in the way that they fly that you normally won't get BVR kills. So maybe if you are already doing that for other aircraft and flying with other aircraft with that, I would suggest to you guys just try to fly lower, maybe take more AIM-9s and just kind of be a brawler, because I gotta be honest, this thing can do it all. And it's one thing that a lot of people don't realize is how good at doing everything these 4.5 generations are. You know, they can do air to ground, they can do BVR, they can do dogfights, they can be a brawler, they can be a sharpshooter from far away, they can be anything, right? So multi-role is really the, you know, how you describe these 4.5s, and the Eurofighter is kind of like that, right? So you can do it all. So try to adapt yourself to the aircraft, because the aircraft can do anything. You know, you just have to play in the best way that you think of. I personally love to fly higher. I normally get more kills doing that. I normally play it better, but each to their own, you know. So if you are a player that fly low, you don't need to use the expertise of these aircraft of flying high and climbing and stuff. You just do your own thing, right? Just be careful that sometimes you can get overwhelmed. There's so many good aircraft flying right now because everybody wants to have these new aircraft and stuff, and everybody's being really aggressive. And of course, with the new BR, you get better aircraft flying in these top tier ranks, right? Because now you are a 14.0, so you will never see a 12.7 anymore. So technically, those down tiers that happened before, you're never seeing them again, right? Which means that you can be a little bit I mean, you can get caught by surprise because of that, right? But the aircraft itself is amazing. There's nothing to talk about this aircraft. It's just pure performance. If you want a 4th generation, you want somebody that, like, if you want something that really shows what performance looks like in a jet aircraft, this is it. This is the pinnacle of what we have in the game. There might be aircraft that can do certain things better, but this is one of the best jack of all trades kind of aircraft that exists. Okay, guys? So yeah, you can do it all. Get it for yourself if you have the 3 nations that are getting it, and it's amazing. It really is. Don't listen to people that are saying that this thing is bad. It's not. It's one of the best aircraft in the game. It's just that, of course, day 1 is kind of crazy on the matchmaking and stuff. So just chill about it. If you get the aircraft and you are dying, especially stock, you know, it's okay. It's just, it's first day, it's stock grind, you know how it is, right? So yeah, again, I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like, always helps a lot. And I will be covering all the aircraft, especially probably the Su-27SM today, the Rafale as well. Probably these 2 videos I will do today. But let me know in the comments, what do you want to see next, right? And yeah, enjoy the Eurofighter. It's just, I love this thing. Light, nimble, can do it all. The perfect aircraft for me personally. I just love this thing so much. It's really what I hoped the MiG-29 would be, right? But yeah, I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe. Again, see ya. Bye. Not gonna say too much. Bye.